for someone who's spent a lot of money on programs and courses, someone who's lost a lot of money in the market, I definitely feel good on the back end of the program. Like, I'm glad that I did one more because I'm telling you, I wish I had saved all my money and just taken this one and put that money in my trading account.
So Jian, thank you so much for being here. I wanted to bring you on because we are at the 90 days in the program. I've been seeing your progress from the very beginning until now, and you've been hitting some really important milestones, some really big wins. And so I wanted to share some of those. And not only that, hear more a little bit about your story, because I know you've been trading for a while. And
Yes.
I wanted to touch on that. But before we go there, I did write down some of your wins. First of all, you went live in January, so 2 months into the program. That alone is a huge milestone. Not only that, you have grown your live account by 60%, which is incredible. And you have a 65% win rate, which means 7 out of 10 trades you're actually winning. So that's incredible.
Right.
So Jian, what would you say are some of the biggest wins? What are the things you're most proud of at this point?
Well, first of all, thanks so much for asking me to do this, and happy too because it's been a long journey, and I had to kind of give up trading for a couple of years, just going back into corporate America. And as you know, even now my time is very limited in terms of when I can trade. But I think the biggest win for me has been feeling like I know what I'm looking for, feeling like I understand what I'm doing, and the optimism of having trades actually be successful on a consistent basis. And so I'm still one of those people that's guilty of wanting to win every trade. I
Definitely.
haven't yet. I don't digest the losses well. So I know that that's something that I still need to work on. But just my confidence has increased tremendously. And I feel hopeful again that I can actually be profitable in trading, which, I've never been consistently profitable.
Wow, that's huge. Even just seeing like the light at the end of the tunnel, right? That this is possible.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it also makes me very happy. I see your trading and it's quality. Like we talked about this. I know you're going to make a lot of money with this. Now, you mentioned that you've been trading for a while. And I
Hmm.
know before you joined the program, we talked on the phone and we talked a few times. There was a bit of reservations, before joining.
Hmm.
Can you share with us a little bit more about, what you were doing prior to working with us? And what were some of those reservations that you have?
Yeah, so at the beginning of 2022, I went back to corporate America, but from I think 2019 up until the end of 21, I was really putting a lot of effort and energy into trading. I would say almost full time, trying to be full time. Of course, I had to do other things in order to, support myself. And a lot of my background is in recruiting, and I was doing a lot of contract type recruiting, but I had a lot more free time and flexibility. So when I went back to corporate America at the beginning of 2022, I had to put it down completely. But prior to that, I would have to add it up, but I've taken a lot of courses, and some
Mm.
of them have been helpful and some of them have been a complete waste of money. And so I think my reservation was, is this another course that I'm going to get to the end of and feel like I've just wasted my money?
Mm.
And, I definitely don't feel that. I'm definitely appreciative of your approach. I mean, you definitely didn't pressure me from the beginning. You took all my calls, answered all my questions, very kind of reassuring as opposed to being high pressure. And then to have 3 months of one-on-ones with you, even like you send out the links, like don't forget to schedule your call. So it's not like you're just sitting in the background waiting for people to reach out to you if they need you. You're like, no, schedule the call, sending the links each week. And so it's just been it's been a different environment. It's been a different approach. And I think it's been a different outcome. So I'm really excited. I've even talked to you about other people that I've shared the information with, people that friends that I have that are interested in trading. And, maybe they'll take the leap, maybe they won't. I get it. But I can just say that, I definitely feel good on the back end of the program. Like, I wish I had saved all my money and just taken this one and put that money in my trading account. Yeah, you get jaded after a while. You get very uncomfortable to take those leaps of faith over and over and over again.
Absolutely. And I appreciate the kind words. And I wanted to touch on that because I know there's a lot of people that may feel the same way. I talk to a lot of people and I hear that recurring theme. And I knew from the very moment that we started talking that you really wanted this, you really wanted to be a successful trader. And there was a little bit of reservations there, absolutely normal. What made you pull the trigger? What made you actually want to join and say, you know what, I will do one more?
That's a good question. I think that you had a lot to do with it. I think that I, for some reason, trusted you. And I mean, obviously, trusted you to an extent. I don't know, not like, we
Right.
went to dinner or anything, and spent months and months together. But just, I think, again, being willing to let me take my time and come to my own conclusions. And again, not feeling any sense of you need to make a decision now. It's like, okay, if you want to talk again, let me know. It just was a comfort level. Then too, I feel like your course is, very, very inexpensive for what's out there and what you get. So I will say honestly that the classes that I paid the most for have been the least valuable to me. So I feel like it's a very reasonably priced course. And I feel like honestly, you could charge more, but the problem is that people don't know that until they go through the course. So on the back end, I could say, yeah, you really should charge more, but going in, people who've not had good experiences or they're on their third, fourth, or eighth course like me,
Mm,
I feel like you're doing it, the right way. And then two, the fact that it's a very like small, intimate group, which I don't think it'll stay that way forever. Just, based on, what you're able to share with people and the success. But I just felt like it was an opportunity for me to engage with you one on one. And I think that weighed very heavily is that you were like, no, it's one on one with me, for 3 months. And collectively, all of those things just kind of gave me a tremendous amount of comfort. So I just
mm.
figured I'd take another leap.
I love it. You were willing to give it another shot and willing to invest into your future. And I'm glad that you now feel like it was worth the investment and worth
For sure.
taking that leap of faith once again. Now, I know you've hit some milestones. You're doing extremely well, which I'm super excited about. Now, in the 90 days, what has been one of the biggest challenges you face?
The biggest challenge for me is just time. Like I would love to
Mm,
be able to, be here in the mornings and when the market is moving more rapidly. But no, I have to trade when it's like watching paint dry, right? In the evenings. It's very slow. So that's really working on my discipline and patience. But, I still make bonehead trades sometimes. And so I feel like my experience helps me, but maybe, some of those old habits might be hurting me too. But the one thing that I really do enjoy is being able to send you the screenshots of the trades and the fact that you respond to every single one with the video and walk me through what I should have been looking at or what you may have seen that would have encouraged you to take the trade or not take the trade. So now I'm getting, the reinforcement from a thought process perspective. And that is what I find truly, truly helpful. So even in the ones that I lose, sometimes you'll say, that was a great trade. It just didn't work,
mm,
And so for me, someone who ruminates over the losses, it helps me to know that, I wasn't just making a bonehead trade. It's just that the probability isn't going to always work in your favor. So working through some of those mental challenges and some of those limiting thoughts in terms of, am I seeing things right or not? Or I feel like all of that you help me address. And so I think the mental part that I've been able to work through and I'm still working through it, but that's been the greatest challenge that I feel like I'm overcoming, not have overcome, but overcoming
absolutely.
and working through it.
It's always a work in process. And the more you do it, the more confidence you gain. And you touch on something that I think is very important, and is the time, right? I know a lot
Mhm.
of that I work with, like yourself, you have a good career, you've successful. person and you're very busy, right? You have a lot going on
Yes.
and you're working on trading as well, which it's also like another career. In the beginning, you had a little bit more time and then your schedule, was rearranged. So now you have a little
Yes.
bit of time. How have you been able to solve that situation? What are some of the changes that you've had to make it work?
I can't remember exactly when I started, but I know I wanted to take advantage of the Christmas holiday. Well, I took 2 weeks off in December. So I knew I wanted to practice a lot during that time, which I was able to. And fortunately, I have a bit of a hybrid schedule where I work from home on Mondays and Fridays. So I really try to capitalize on that. I probably shouldn't say that. Being recorded, but I do try to take advantage of that time when I can, and sometimes I can't. Sometimes even though I'm at home, I mean, I'm on calls and I'm in meetings, but I just do it whenever I can. When I get home, on the days that I'm in the office, the first thing I do is open my computer. I look at see if there's any opportunities that I can take. And then the entire time that I'm in my office at night, which I'm typically in my office from 6 to 11, 12, my charts are open and I'm looking to see if there's something that I can capitalize on. So I mean, I would love to be in the markets when they're moving faster, but I have to do what I have to do. So, and then when I see you post your successes with, doing small trades on multiple accounts, I'm like, I've got to get to that point, where I have the option to figure out if I want to continue to work, which I probably will.
Yeah.
But just to be able to have that option would be fabulous. So we'll get there one day.
Definitely will. And one thing that I want to highlight about you is that I can see your commitment. It will be very easy to say, you know what, I just don't have the time. There's no way I can make trading work. But even though you have a full time career, you're very busy, you have a lot going on, you're still finding a way to make it happen, right? You're
Hmm.
still successful with your trading. You're still very profitable, very consistent. And if you have to trade at night, you do it at night. You're not making excuses. I just wanted to highlight there because in your situation, it could just be like, you know what, it's not going to work. And then just continue
Yeah.
doing what
Or even on President's Day, like you were like, okay, we're not gonna do the live session today. So, but I'm like, this is the day that I'm home. If the market's open half a day and it's gonna be slow, then I'll just have to, participate when it's half a day and slow. So, I was on the charts this morning. So I took a trade this morning. It didn't work, but and it was a good trade. It was a good trade, but nonetheless, I do what I have to do because it's definitely something I'm committed to, and I want to be able to utilize it in the way that I'd like to. Which for me, based on my age, is just helping me prepare for retirement. I want to have that skill so that I can retire when I want to.
I love it. And I know you mentioned that early on when we first talked about, you had some goals with your trading, right? We talked about retirement. I know you were talking about like a potential 10-year timeline. Now, at this point, do you think it might be a little bit sooner than that?
So yeah, possibly. And again, because I was out of corporate America for so long, I mean, I enjoy the benefits and the perks and the steadiness of a paycheck versus being an entrepreneur. So I don't know, when I want to give that up. So I do enjoy that. And the role, but it's just that the role that I'm in right now is very intense. But as I move on and move into other roles, I probably would have more time, more flexibility, but again, the goal is for me to have that option, right? So if I have that option, then sometimes you go to work with a different attitude, right? When you
That
know that you don't have to be there.
that is very
So
true. I think
yeah, we'll
ultimately
see what
that's what
happens.
trading gives you, right? It's not just the money, but
Hmm.
right.
Yes.
And you can continue to work. Maybe you like what you're doing, right? And like a lot of people,
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
about getting the job, but it's also like, hey, you have options, right? And now you can go to work happy because you have this other thing that's doing incredibly well as well.
I worked from home for 20 years, and I do like getting up and having a place to go and getting
Mm.
dressed and interacting with people. So I do enjoy that piece of it. So it's really not all about the money. I mean, the money is part of it. Of course, we all need to support ourselves, but I do like having something else to do. But if I could do it more flexibly, where I can trade in the morning and then do that in the afternoon or in the evening or something like that, that would be the best of both worlds for me.
That will be the ideal. Plus, you don't need that long to trade, but we do like being on the
Yeah.
screen, so
That's
it's fun.
another perk too, is that, the
Yeah.
trades are quick.
Well, Jian, thank you so much for sharing all of this. I'm sure there's people that are going to be watching this in the future who are definitely going to resonate. Now, do you have any final words for maybe someone who is where you were right before you're in the program? They've been trying to trade, they have the dream of being a trader. Maybe they
Mhm.
tried a few things, it's not quite working, they haven't quite found their strategy that is going to take them there. What would you say to someone in that position?
Say I get it. I mean, I really get it. And so I would say definitely don't give up. You have to find the thing that's going to be right for you. And depending upon, what you're looking for, that it may or may not be this.
Mhm.
However, I would say that if you feel like after looking at the website or talking to Helbert or you're on the fence, I would say do it, go ahead and take the leap. Now, if you come up with something else, because I'm of the firm belief that everything isn't for everybody. I'm not one to try to be high pressure either. But if it's like it sounds good, but I'm not sure, it's good. If you're thinking, I'm not sure if futures is something I want to do, or if I'm not committed to trading, then you have to go figure that part out. But I would say that for someone who spent a lot of money on programs and courses, someone who's lost a lot of money in the market, and even though money isn't the issue, it was just the thought of pouring more money into something that I'm not going to walk away feeling any better than I did before. I can say that that absolutely was not the case. And all I can say is that I'm glad that I did one more, because I'm telling you, like, I did something, was it last year? I can't even remember. It was not too long ago. Like, I'm still paying on it, right? Because it was very expensive and I haven't looked at it in months. And so I would just say, if you're anywhere close to thinking that you might want to, but you just have a level of uncertainty, I would hope that you would, think about it, pray about it, whatever you need to do. And I would say do
Meditate on it, feels right.
it.
We got Jian on the line, so
Yes, yes. And I was a skeptic, definitely.
yeah, and it's absolutely normal. I don't blame anyone who has a degree of skepticism or a little bit of fear, knowing what I know in the online space.
For
I
sure.
now, Jian, thank you so much for sharing your story, for being willing to come on here, go through everything that you've gone through, and it's been a pleasure working with you. I know that you're gonna reach all your goals with trading, no doubt. And well, thanks again.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank you for all that, that you're doing with the course and with the folks in the group and everything. You're definitely the real deal. So it's been a pleasure. I'm sad that my 90 days is up, but happy that again you're available in the chat and respond to everything in a very timely fashion. So it's a good situation, and I'm definitely very appreciative of everything that you're doing for me and the other folks that are a part of the group.
Well, thank you so much, Jian. Gonna make me tear up.
That's
uh,
funny.
thank you. I'll see you on Friday then.
Okay, thanks.